I am a big fan of having physical gear in the studio because even though you can do pretty much anything in the box these days, I just love dialing in physical knobs on physical hardware. It's just fun. I don't know how else to describe it. And that's what we're here to discuss today, not to debate analog versus hardware, but to see if an affordable piece of gear like this one here actually makes my mixes sound better. So, quick little story time. Recently I got sent the Warm Audio Bus Compressor for review, and unfortunately the first unit they sent was actually defective. The left and the right channels were not balanced, like they're outputting different levels. This is a stereo VCA compressor, so obviously it's very important that the levels come out as intended, right? And after a variety of different tests and trying different cables, running signal generator through it, and just a bunch of different things, the consensus was that the unit was defective, but in Warm Audio's defense, they stepped up immediately to send me another. But because I'm not the worst person in the world and I had actually received it from Zounds, I told them I'd just handle it with Zounds. So honestly, shout out to Warm Audio for jumping on it so quickly. And speaking of things quickly, I just want to quickly remind you guys that Zounds is actually the sponsor of this video. And as a Zounds creator, I get to show you guys cool gear. And the only thing they ask of me in return is to tell you guys to shop there if you need anything music or studio related. They are an incredible company. I bought my first real guitar from them literally 17 years ago. If you're planning on picking up the bus compressor or anything you see in this video or just any gear on Zounds, make sure you guys use my link as it goes a long way to helping me keep the lights on around here. But anyways, back to the video. Today I want to compare the sound of the Warm Audio Bus Compressor with a VCA plug-in compressor counterpart, and here's the reason why. If the plugin sounds just as good or even better, it actually might slow me down to dial in the sounds on the hardware and get the same result, because not only do I have to dial it in physically, but I also would need to print it back into the DAW, which is something you obviously don't have to do with plugins. So yeah, that would be a big deterrent for me. If I can get a sound that's just as good with way less effort, I'm probably gonna go that route. So let's jump into the DAW and compare it on a drum bus first, and then we'll use it on a mix afterwards, and we'll kind of just A/B them and see which one we like more. All right, so now we're in Pro Tools and I'm gonna waste no time here. We're gonna dive right in to the compressors on a mix bus. So the plugin counterpart I'm gonna be using is a VCA plugin. It's the bus compressor from SSL, probably one of the more popular ones. Now I tried to mirror the settings as much as possible. The gain reduction is gonna be virtually the same, as well as the makeup gain and kind of just like the peak levels. There might be some perceived stuff that's a little bit different, but the only thing that's different is the hardware unit does have some variation in like the timing because they're stepped, right? But just take it for what you will and just use your ears, and let's just kind of find out which one we like the most. All right, so the mix that we're working with is kind of like a heavier song, but it's going to have a lot of attackiness, which is going to bring out the style and the sound of the compressors. So the song has been pre-mixed. We're just adding some mix bus compression. The song was pre-mixed by Johnny Fitzgerald. It was written by Alex Garman. They're kind of like a production duo. They're really sick. But yeah, let's dive in. So let's play it without mix bus compression first. Here we go. This is completely dry. All right, and now let's enable the SSL plugin. We're gonna go to 1.5 ratio, slow attack, medium to fast release. Go for about 4 dB of gain reduction here. Let's listen to the mix. All right, and now I've printed in the Warm Audio, so let's check that out. The first thing that I'm hearing with the Warm Audio is it seems like there's a little bit of like a high boost, maybe somewhere between 8 and 12K, which I'm assuming is probably like a byproduct of it being actually physical hardware and it's moving through actual like electronic components. But let's listen. I'm hearing it like really big in like the attacky cymbals right in the beginning and towards the middle. So this is the SSL. And then this is the Warm Audio. Yeah, it's got a lot more like sizzle to it, which I actually think sounds really pleasant on a mix like this. But I guess it's not something that you couldn't recreate in the box, of course. But just my first impressions, I actually think I really like the Warm Audio here. But I'm still kind of on the fence of whether or not this would be worth printing it out every time, because I had to do like a send out, I had to level match, and then I had to record it back in. It's quite a process, to be honest with you. And yeah, I know all you analog guys out there are probably used to this at this point, but I'm a big convenience guy. So that might be a deal breaker for me. If it doesn't sound like at least 40% better, I don't know if I'll make the switch. To me right now, I think the Warm Audio does sound better on the mix, but again, I don't really know if I would make a full switch. Which to me, I do a lot of recording, so maybe something like this would be more useful for me printing on the way in, maybe some light compression, because I do like the way that it sounds. And obviously that eliminates the step of having to do it in like post or in mixing. With that said, let's listen to some drums that I just recorded. So I just recorded these drums for a band called Bury the Fear. They're amazing. The song's called Blacklist and it will be out very soon. So yeah, go check out Bury the Fear. They're really great. But let's listen to these drums. So these are completely unmixed. I just have some gates on them. I'm using the Black Salt Silencer, amazing plugin. And then we have some stuff kind of on a drum bus here. So let's listen to the raw drums first, or the uncompressed drums, because there is a Pultec on here. And now let's listen with the SSL on the drum bus. And the Warm Audio. So my immediate thoughts are, I feel like I felt more of the thump of the bass drum in the SSL plugin version. Let me just go ahead and double check that. So this is the SSL. And then this is the Warm Audio. I think I actually like the SSL better. I think that even though the settings are as matched as possible, I think that there are some differences in the way that the compressor is actually working. So in Warm's defense, I could probably try and dial this a little bit closer so the behavior is the same. But my immediate reaction is I actually really like the SSL and the way it sounds on the drum bus. Again, these are completely unmixed drums. This is kind of just like what they would sound like when I'm playing them back after recording them, which is quite literally the step that we're at right now. But with that said, I really like the top end sheen that the Warm Audio adds. And it makes me think that this would be like a really, really good like overhead, like record on the way in processing, because it probably would add some really cool harmonics, but also it's a good sounding compressor. I just think I compare, I think I prefer the SSL in this circumstance. But with that said, with that top end bias, I bet you that this compressor would be absolutely amazing recording live, acoustic guitar and things like that. So I think maybe I should give it another chance and try it. All right, so my conclusion on the Warm Audio Bus Compressor is that I like it. I like it. I think I would probably use it more on like recording things in rather than like the mixing process, the hybrid mixing process. To me, the plugins, you can get so much done with plugins nowadays, and the SSL plugin on both the drum bus and the mix bus sounded great. But again, there was some really cool like harmonic, like top end stuff that was added with the analog compressor, and I think it sounds cool. I would actually rather use this in the recording process than in the hybrid mixing process. I think it's a great compressor for, what is it, $800. But if I was going to do like a hybrid mixing setup, I would probably reach for something else or just stay in the box personally. But yeah, those are just my thoughts, and I hope I don't make anyone angry. I honestly love doing videos like this, and I love starting stimulating gear talk in the comments, so feel free to leave your thoughts below. And as a reminder, if you're gonna get anything on Zounds, use my link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. And yeah, let me know if there's any other pieces of either budget or like mid-level gear that I should try out on the channel. I'm super excited with all the stuff we've got here. There might be some things that are in the camera frame right now that I'm testing next. But yeah, I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys think about the video. I'm still new to this. Love you guys. Thank you so much. See ya.